Hi guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we have another palette to review. There are so many palettes that have been coming out that are just so exciting and I get so excited for them. And this one is definitely no different. This is a new Obsessions palette from Huda Beauty. This is a part of her Color Block line. The other palette is purple and orange, and this one is the blue and green one, and this is the one that caught my eye the most. And this is the one we're doing a look with today. I have all the swatches for you guys. So if you are interested in seeing me put this palette to the test, then definitely keep on watching. First off, a few logistics on this palette. This palette does retail for $29. It is available in Sephora. I took a trip to Sephora this morning on a whim because it did say this palette was online only, and I was like, hold on. Every time Sephora says something is online only, that's always not the case. So I went to Sephora. They had this one and they also had the purple and orange palette. They had a whole display for it in the actual Huda Beauty line. So I think this is gonna be there like pretty permanently. Side note, I also did see the new one size trios. The blush and bronzer trios are in store now at Sephora. So if you want to go swatch those and see those colors, they're in store now at Sephora. I did swatch this palette. It is live on the screen. I'm gonna have the little clip rolling. I thought it'd be nice to see how this palette swatched with the live swatches so you all could see exactly how the color looks on my arm. I will say everything swatched beautifully. I try not to base how good or bad swatches are on the quality of the eyeshadow, but I will say, since I did do my look already, the way that it swatched was a little bit of a challenge when I actually put it on the eyes. You guys are gonna see, if you stay towards the end of the video in this eye look, you'll see how I had to learn how to use the eyeshadow to get it to work for me, but it does work in the way that I used it. You all can see how vibrant this, like, look at my shadow. It's super vibrant. What's also really cool about this palette is that Huda Beauty added cake liners for the first time in this palette. This one has a cake liner as well as the purple and the orange palette. We also have a duo pan. It's like a split pan. I don't know why she did that, but I kept the shades separate. I didn't want to mix them together. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep them as two separate eyeshadows, but we have lots of mattes in this palette, which is also really, really nice. I love when a palette has more mattes than shimmers. And even with this split pan, we have 3 shimmers total, if you count the split pan as 2 separate shimmers. But we're gonna go ahead and get into the eye look. I am so excited, so let's go ahead and dive into it. Her Obsessions palette's formula has been top-notch, A1. I believe the last Obsession palette she came out with was like her animal theme one, and I loved that collection. It was, oh, so beautiful. I loved it. So this I'm super excited for. On the front of the palette, we have really cool packaging, super different for Huda. It's kind of like a raised, rubbery texture with the words. And then on the back, you have all your ingredients and all of that good stuff. The inside, we have this really beautiful color story. So pretty. Even in person, I think it's even more beautiful in person. I just think the photos online does not do this palette justice. Let's see what we can do with this palette. Let's just play. I do want to do maybe like a cut crease so I can use the cake liner. I'm going to go into this dark blue right here. I'm going to take that on a nice fluffy brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and run this in my crease. Let's see. Okay, there we go. At first I was like, where's the pigment? But I'm seeing it now. I wonder if this is a pressed pigment palette, because no, it says eyeshadow palette. Okay, interesting. So I'm feeling like with this shade, to get the full pigment, I have to pack and then blend, which I guess is fine. I'm gonna start to wing this out because I do want to do a winged out look today with a cut crease. I love those kind of looks. You guys know I live for those. So it's gonna be a little bit messy, but I am gonna go ahead and just start to wing that out. And I am gonna go ahead and pack on the color now because I want it to be intense. I want the color to fully show. With this shade, I feel like I really had to pack that on quite a lot. Once you tap in your brush, that pigment only goes so far. It doesn't really travel super far. So that's just one thing that I've noticed. Now let's go ahead and move on to another shade. Let's take this blue right here. It's like one shade down, and I'm gonna take that and I'm just gonna kind of blend out. I don't know how this is gonna look. It might look a little messy, but I'm just gonna take that shade and kind of blend out this first shade maybe. I don't know if that's really working out. Maybe I'll just keep it here. I'm not really seeing much of a difference in color, so I'm just gonna pack that shade in the front and then blend it back. I don't know if this shade's really, you can kind of see it on camera, so that's good. So I'm just packing this shade up in the front so I can kind of see it, and I'm just gonna blend it out into that wing. Don't really know. Like I said, I'm just playing around with these shades, so I'm just gonna see what kind of look I can get out of this palette. I'm gonna go ahead and do a cut crease. I'm just gonna go in with my P. Louise base in the shade 2 so we can cut this crease. I need to see this look come together in one way or another, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and speed up this part because I need to concentrate. Usually I would do the winged out completely, but I kind of want to do something a little bit different than what I would normally do. So now that I have my crease cut, I want to go ahead and start playing with some of these brighter pastel shades, like the yellow. So I'm going to take the yellow and I'm going to place this shade, okay, so it picks up really well on the brush. And I'm going to take this shade and start to pack it in my inner corner. I want to see how well this builds up. It definitely does have quite a bit of fallout, but it is building up really nicely. And I do like it. This is a pretty lime green. Yeah, it shows up really true to color, which I do like. Let's try out this like bluey, like greenish kind of shade. So let's place that shade right next to that lime green. This is absolutely beautiful. Really gorgeous shade. I am loving this shade. And I'm just gonna make sure it is seamlessly blended into each other. It's so pretty. Okay, I love that shade. I feel like this might be my favorite shade in the palette so far. I have that shade down. It is looking really pretty. I'm honestly loving this look so far. I do have a little bit of space here I wanna play with. I kind of want to go back into this blue shade right here and just see how this performs if I pack it on rather than using it to kind of blend out that shade. Because at first I wasn't a fan of it to blend out everything, but hopefully to pack on, it might be really pretty. Okay, it definitely is. That shade is better suited as like a pack on kind of shade. I don't know if you guys could see it here. These are super pastel, which I find that the best way for these shades to show up true to color is to pack and blend. It's not a pressed pigment. It says it's an eyeshadow, but they're kind of performing like a pressed pigment. So I just find that to get the actual color that's in the pan, it's better to pack and then blend. Moment of truth, we basically have most of the look done. Let's do the lower lash and then we'll do the cake liner. And I also might want to put a little shimmer in the inner corner. This liner right here from NYX is one that I have been obsessed with. It shows up so well. This is the NYX Epic Wear Liner Stick. This is in the shade Blue Trip. It's so pretty for blue looks. So pretty. I love this liner so much. And it lasts a very long time. Before I do the waterline, let me just go in with the first brush that I use. And I just kind of want to, oops, dropping stuff. And I just kind of want to make sure this is well blended and smoked out. So for the lower lash line, let's get into it. So I think I want to go ahead and take the deep blue shade that we first went in with, and I'm going to place that on the lower lash. Just want to tie this shade back into the look. So now I have that on, I'm gonna go into, I'm gonna take this blue shade right here, something a little lighter, and just kind of smoke out that blue. just to kind of blend it out. Okay, so I went and added a little bit of a liner. Now let's play with the cake liner. So if you guys are not familiar with the cake liner, basically it's a water activated liner. You spritz your brush with water. I wouldn't recommend going directly into this because the pans are so close and I don't want to wet the other shadows. But I'm just going to take my liner brush. This is one of my favorite liner brushes. It's from Morphe. It is the M250-0 brush. That is a crazy name. So I'm just going to rinse it in some water and then take it into the cake liner. The cake liner is this one right here. It's a really pretty periwinkle shade. And what I like to do is I like to make sure I have the right consistency. So I don't want to just go directly onto the look. I want to kind of like make sure I have a good consistency on the back of my hand where it's not too watery and it's not too dry. So I like the consistency. Now what I'm going to do is not that. Don't do that. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to take it out and just kind of feather it out like that, where it has like a little small wing. Love the formula of this. Love the shade of this cake liner, by the way. It's actually really pretty. It's a pretty shade, and it pops too. It pops with the look. I was kind of nervous that it would be too light, but it's actually the perfect shade. These are great. So happy that Huda put this in her palette because I just think it's an easy one and done kind of palette. Oh, doing the other side is literally always a challenge because you have to make them even, and it's like, okay. You know, I feel like this side is a little bit thicker. That looks pretty good. The cake liner performs beautifully. I love the cake liner. I do want to use one of these shimmers because why not? I want to use a shimmer in my inner corner. Let's do, this is a split pan, which is really nice. I'm going to take the lighter shade that's in the split pan, which is this one, and I'm gonna place that as my inner corner highlight shade. This whole look is giving me like beachy vibes. It's reminding me of the beach, and I love it. It's so pretty. Oh, it's so stunning. So here is the finished look. I cannot say this enough, but Huda Beauty always blows me away. I love it. I love this look so much. I just, this color combo of these shades together is just scrumptious. I love blue and green together. I think it's amazing, and to have it all in this one palette, if I'm like, okay, today I'm feeling blue and green, I can just pull this palette and I have the prettiest look ever. The cake liner really takes it home because the cake liner just matches so well with this palette. Everything about it is just so much fun. It was kind of a struggle throughout the look because the shades kind of, if you just put it on your eye and you blend it out, it could kind of blend out to nothing. But if you pack and then blend, then I think it'll work. I think that has a lot to do with the fact that it is more pastel leaning. Even like this blue right here in the pan, it kind of looks like a dusty blue. When I started to pack and then blend the color out, I didn't really have that problem of the color not showing up. But I will say that is something I've learned with this palette. Once I figured that out, then it was smooth sailing from there. This palette is really cute. It's so different for Huda. I feel like we've been seeing a lot of neutrals from her. It's just a great addition to the Huda Beauty line. I feel like this is just amazing, and I really love the look that I created. I'm truly obsessed with it. I just cannot stop staring at it because it is so pretty. I'm just obsessed. I'm really obsessed. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know down below if you guys are gonna pick up any of the two palettes. I kind of wonder if Huda's gonna come out with more color block palettes. I feel like that seems like she's kind of testing the waters, so I don't know, maybe we might see more color block palettes, but who knows. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.